on the business startup process. In this session, we are going to discuss the different steps that you require to take before you start a successful business, right? But before we start discussing those steps, let me just give you a warning about the different schemes that you hear and that you see every other time in your life, right? You see these scammers on YouTube. You see these scams as motivational speakers in different events, right? So I would strongly suggest that do not ever fall for their words, right? Because in my opinion, there is no truth in what they say, right? The first thing that you always hear about become a millionaire in just a matter of month, how to earn these number of thousands of dollars in just a matter of few weeks, right? And they always give you this motivation to become quick rich, right? But I strongly disagree with those guys, right? The things that they share with you are the case studies they share with you. They never tell you the hard work behind those case studies, are the platforms, are the community, are the masses they already developed before making some real money, right? So be very much careful about whenever you hear this word become a millionaire or have these number of followers in this much of time. So in my opinion, that's a scam, right? Another thing that I strongly dislike in this system is that they will always say that how to start a business with no money. No, there is no such thing as starting a business with zero money, right? There's a difference between earning the money and starting a business, right? You can earn money with zero money, but again, that requires some amount of skill, right? Starting a business definitely requires the accumulation or the collection of resources, and that requires some money, right? So I would come back to this point in detail a little bit later on, right? So what do I mean by starting the business with zero money is nearly impossible, right? So never ever, in my opinion, fall for this scam, right? The third thing is they always encourage these young guys, the university graduates, and all these young guys that this is for you. Come up and you should become an entrepreneur, and you should never go for the jobs and all these things. I think there's also a scam, and you should never risk your life for these things, right? Why? Because I will explain in detail in the different steps that why you require all these steps before starting up a business or become what do they call as the entrepreneurs, right? So yes, in my opinion, there's a lie. There's the biggest lie that the governments and the motivational speakers and all these gurus have been telling the people, right? So in my opinion, no, entrepreneurship is not for the young. It's a lie. And the fourth one, all these motivational speakers with one.com to their names or to their Facebook accounts, I know them, most of them, and they would never have achieved anything in life, and what they have done is earning money through telling people how to earn money, right? And in fact, that is how they earn money, by telling how to earn money. They never went through this process of earning the money, right? So be very much careful about these scams, right? Because starting a business is a systematic process. It requires dedication. It requires years and years of practice and learning and unlearning and continuous personality enhancement, right? So be very much careful about these things, right? So now we move forward to what we left some a while ago was the starting a business is different than the earning the money, right? You can earn money by like selling your services, right? Cleaning a house, or maybe serving as a salesperson, or maybe as an affiliate marketer, or whatever. So that is different. That is not about starting the business. Yes, you can earn money with zero money, right, if you got some skills. But was saying starting a business with zero money, I do not like this idea, right? You always require some money, right? Even you require money for advertisement. You require money for hiring someone. You require money for buying a domain and hosting and all these things, startup expenses, right? So there is a difference between, and you should be very much clear about what I'm telling about. I'm telling about the process or the method in starting the business. I'm not telling something about earning the money, right? So yes, you can earn money with zero money. You can earn money while you are young, right? But again, starting a business with these things is a little bit difficult, as I think, and I have seen in my life through my expertise in research and the practical life. Right. So this is the timeline that I think is a logical ladder to start your entrepreneurial journey, right? So education comes first, and then the second step is refining a skill or two in the process, and then you get some experience, and then after some time, after a few years time, you launch a business, right? And I will come into these points in detail. So our first point is the education and the skills, right? So what I mean by the education is the general education, like your social skills, like learning some art, like learning philosophy, or anything that you are interested in, learning history, maybe learning literature could be another part of learning the education, right? At the same time, when you are doing all these things, so some skills are required for a business, right? So they are like the essential skills for a business or working in a business, in my opinion, relate to the research and the analysis skills, right? So when you are in the university or you are learning something, so these are the skills that you must definitely require, and at the same time, report writing and the other things that you require in the education, right? So this is what we mean by the education, right? At the same time, the next step is learn a skill or two, right? Definitely, analysis is a skill at the same time, right? But you require more skills which you can sell in the market, right? Like how to build a product, right? Or for example, how to write a code, maybe, right? Or is for example, how to solve a problem through mathematics could be another way, right? So learn a skill or two for life, and that is how. So before all these things, how can you expect to become entrepreneurs when you are not focused, when you are not organized, and you do not have any skills? How do you expect to and when you have no money at all, right? So how do you expect to start a business, right? So at the same time, another thing that while you are learning and you are in the university, so one thing that you should acquire is the hardworking, and at the same time, this very attitude of learning and unlearning, right? So this should be a core part of your learning, that life is not about uh, being in one position, right? So there is nothing constant in life. It's only the change that is constant in life, right? So you should focus on that, and a lifelong learning attitude should be developed, right? And finally, you should develop a set of soft and hard skills, right, before you jump into the practical life, right? How do you start with the practical life, which is the third step of the startup development process, right? So you always start with an internship for no money or for some money. So if you are lucky enough, so and you get some money for your internship, go ahead, right? But if you are not getting a paid internship, never ever be disappointed, right? All that you require is learning some practical skills, right? An organizational skill, organizational attitude that you need to develop after the university, right? Which is a key skill set that you require to work in a corporate environment, right? And when you have done an internship or two, then you should, after the graduation, enter your first full-time entry-level job, right? And it depends on the sector and your interest. So you can start from anywhere, but definitely you should do some uh, job or some practical experience, right? And in the process, it is ideal if you skip a job or two, so then you will get a chance to learn the different corporate environments in different organizations, right? So you're not stuck to one type of leadership, right? So in different organizations, what you get is different leadership styles and different environments, so that will help in the long run, right? At the same time, another thing that is going to happen in this job switching in different markets is that you will develop a network, right? You will know the key people, who is who and what is what in the market. That is the key element that you are going to get from the job experience, right? And since you are working, you are earning the money, so I would strongly recommend that you save some money at the end of the month, right? That is the key money that you will require to start your business, right? And while you're in this market for 2 years, 3 years, maybe ideally for 5 to 10 years time period, now you have developed enough network, and now you have known enough problems in the market. So now potentially it is expected that you have sort of identified the key problems and the key gaps and the key opportunities where the market is heading, right? So let's say if you are working in the traveling tourism industry, right? So you know the ins and outs of the tourism industry. At the same time, if you are working in the health sector, so you have known the ins and the outs of the health sector. You know the problems and the opportunities where this sector is heading towards, right? So that basically is the idea generation phase, and it comes with an experience, right? While you are a student and while you are a graduate, and so you don't have that much experience in life, right, to know the valuable gaps and opportunities in the market, right? So when you have spotted a opportunity, yes, and that is what is required, right? Continuously growing your network and saving the money along the way, right? And when you have done enough amount of work in the market, so now you are ready. And as per the research says, 35 to 45 years age is the ideal age to start the business, right? In South Korea, basically, it's a cultural norm that people are expected to start their businesses when they turn 35, right? So that is somewhere. So between the age 22 when you just graduate and 35, there is quite amount of time, right? So now you have enough amount of money, now you have enough amount of attitude and the negotiation skills and expertise. Now you have become more mature, now you have become more responsible in life, and now all these ingredients are required to start a successful business, right? So to sum up, this is the overall journey, right? So it always starts with learning few skills and then getting the practical experience, right? And at the same time networking and saving the money, and at the same time then when you launch the business, right, so that is the time that you start living the dream, right? So with this, I hope you are clear now that, and now you will feel not much frustrated why you cannot come up with mature ideas, right? Most of the time the young graduates, they complain they do not have enough money, or they cannot attract investors into their businesses, right? And the key is the investors are never interested in immature ideas, right? They always look for the investable ideas, and the investable ideas basically are the ideas which has the potential of scalability or the growth, right? So the investable ideas comes with age, it comes with experience, right? And when you are young, you have not traveled enough, you have not worked in many organizations, you do not have any market experience, right? So whatever you come up is just childish dream, maybe what I could say to that thing, right? So you do not find funds, you do not find investors for those ideas. If you really want to start a business, right, so I guess you should plan from now, you plan for the next 5 to 10 years time period, that how you are going to get that valuable experience, and which markets or which organizations you should target from now on, that you think are the best industries, are the best markets which in which there is a growth potential, where there is a potential to earn immense amount of money, right? So yes, with this we should finish our session, right? And I expect some of your startup experiences so far, being young, being old, and what do you think about what just we discussed in this session, right? Right. So thank you so much for your time, right? And looking forward to your comments. Thank you. Take care.